Hello, good people in the family of Dr. BMS. I did a video previously where I talked about fathers sleeping on the job by being absent and by thinking that material provision replaces for love, guidance, role modeling of their families, particularly their boy child who looks at the fathers, the uncles, the father figure as a role model, someone to emulate. The video was well received with very good comments, and someone asked about mothers and observed that some mothers also have something to improve about how they parent their children. The build up to this video of fathers sleeping on the job was that we had observed at the Fountain of Hope Rehabilitation Center, we get increasingly young people who are abusing drugs. Marijuana is rising, and the other drugs, the traditional drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, and that a significant portion of these young people are coming from families that are single parent. Most of the time, the father is not there. It could be divorce, separation, or just not being physically present. And so we discuss the role of the parent, the father, in the bringing up of the child. Today, I want to address mothers. And mothers, as we know, are usually not absent. So we cannot talk of absentee mothers in most cases. But we've observed that also some of these young people who come to seek treatment or are brought in for rehabilitation are also having this problem generated by a deficient parenting from the mother's side. And I thought about it and I said, I'll call it mothers shooting themselves in the foot. Because their intentions are usually good. As mothers, you want to bring up good children. But sometimes, mainly out of ignorance, some of the things you may do may end up defeating the very objective you set out to achieve. And so we say you shoot yourself in the foot. But that is only before you listen to Dr. BMS. And after this video, you will learn some of the things to avoid so that you achieve your objectives. As usual, before we delve deeper into this, have you subscribed to Dr. BMS channel? If you haven't, please click that subscribe button, the right hand side bottom of your screen now, and activate the notification bell so that each time we make a video, you get a notification, and through your subscription, we get encouraged to make more videos that are enlightening to our families and are good for the growth of the health of our bodies, minds, and soul, the Dr. BMS way. So mothers, are you shooting yourself in the foot? I want to mention two areas in today's video where mothers commonly make a mistake unintentionally when they are parenting their children. I also made a video previously, apart from this one of fathers sleeping on the job, where I said, your child is not your friend. And this one also elicited reactions, other people saying, do you mean it's my enemy or something? But I said, your child is not your friend. Your child is your child. The relationship between parent and child is bigger, is stronger, is more important than the relationship of friendship. Friendship is at a lower level. Parenting is a much higher level and is ordained from high up in the heavens. So if you start treating your child as your friend, then in a way, you are denigrating this relationship. And as a friend, you may not guide them the way a parent does, because a parent has no conditionalities to what they do to their children. But a friend is about scratching my back, I scratch yours. Friendships can end, they start and end. Parenting never ends. Even at my age, my father and my mother, they are deceased, but they are still my father and mother. And it will remain like that for eternity. So parenting is at that high level. You cannot associate it with or equate it to friendship. And so in line with this issue of parents sometimes wanting to make their children their friends more than their children, mothers are on the forefront of this. I must say, I apologize to mothers, but it's an observation Dr. BMS has done, because mothers generally are loving, they're more emotional, they're more expressive, they're more social. So they want to talk to their children, to be with them, to cuddle them, to soothe them when the children are not feeling well, to encourage them when their children are doing well. So mothers are the greatest cheerleaders for their children. And in the process, the aspect of friendship becomes stronger. But as I said, let it not overtake the parenting role. And so in this area, there's one thing that mothers do which amounts to them shooting themselves in the foot. This thing is where you consider your child to be so close to you, you are such friends that you start confiding information that is inappropriate in the child. You start discussing things that you shouldn't be discussing with your child. You start inviting your child into conversations that are not appropriate for their age. So, for example, you have your friends, they come visiting, maybe it is Chamau, Kenyans like Chamau, coming together, it is a weekend, you are with your friends. Some of these friends could be friends from long time ago in college when you are growing up, so you share some long history and good secrets, how you are dating, when you are getting married and all those. You can discuss you are growing up, you are dating, your marriage, you can discuss even your present family, you can discuss your in-laws, you can discuss your workmates, you can discuss your business, you can discuss your husband, you can discuss anything with this friend. That is fine. But some of the discussions should not happen in the presence of the child, because some of the themes that you are going to discuss are fairly adult themes. And so, if you let a child who is a teenager or a child preteen, 9 years, 7 years, listening how you did this and did that, how your mother-in-law is this way or that way, how your father-in-law, how your brothers-in-law, your workmates, you like them, you don't like them, in a way, you are conditioning this child's mind to start seeing those people through your eyes, through your lenses. And remember, some of these people are not just anybody. This could be this child's father, this child's uncle. And so you are conditioning this child to see that parent, that relative, that situation through an angle that is not objective. You are not allowing this child to grow up and find a balance of their own which suits them. In the process, you may transplant some emotions, some behaviors, some mannerisms in this child, which may end up hurting the relationship between this child and that family member, this child and that situation, and that can have a detrimental effect sometimes on the future behavior and relationships of this child, which can lead into some problems, including some of them that bring these children to our center for rehabilitation because they are abusing drugs. So the good practice that Dr. BMS is recommending, particularly to mothers, when you go out with your young children to meet your friends, spend a weekend, if you are going to discuss subjects that are adults, maybe your husband has made you unhappy in one way or another, Maybe your in-laws have done something you don't like. Maybe your workmate is involved in a behavior which you don't like, and you feel you need to offload this or share this information with your friends. Please let the young children go out to play. Let them be with other children and find your own space with your friends where you discuss these issues, you share, and when you have finished, you will be together with the children. Do not discuss these adult issues, adult relationship issues, in the presence of young children, because you are conditioning their mind in a way that may not be healthy, and it may affect how they turn out to be adults. The second and last thing I want to share with mothers about parenting their children is what I mentioned. When you make your children to be your best friends and you express that, then you are in a way boxing yourself into a corner such that you are always going to go out to please these children. You don't want them to have any pain. You don't want them to be complaining. You only want to have smiles around you and happy faces because they are your friends and you want to share those friendly moments. But children are children. Sometimes they make mistakes. Sometimes they need to be corrected. Sometimes they need a stern look, a rebuke, so that they get back online. Now, if you've made it such that they are your friends and you don't want to see them cry and you want to give them everything and your life is all about your children, then there's an aspect of direction giving, of guidance, of firmness, which you will not be able to deliver. And in the process, the children may gravitate into bad behavior because of that laxity on that point. So it's not bad to be your child's friend, but you have to moderate. This friendship must also mix with parenting. There are times you as a mother can just say, I've said no, stop watching television now, please go and do your homework. No, it's not time to go out to play out with your friends. Tomorrow is school, you need to do your homework, you need to clean up your room. That way then, children grow up knowing the balance of life, that they have to do something, stop, do another, the balance of life that makes them be good children, not children of excesses who feel entitled. They have never been told no in their life, and it's all about them. The world rotates around them. Whatever they want, mommy does, daddy does. So now when they go out of home, for example, they join college or they move away from home, they may get enticed to engage in some things like alcohol and drugs. And you as a parent, you will feel helpless. You cannot correct these children because you have never told them no. You have never rebuked them. And you always go out to please these children. So if they're asking for pocket money, you just have to give. Because if you don't give, they'll cry. And you don't want them to cry because they are your friends. You cannot question how they are using this pocket money. In fact, when you are suspecting that they may be engaging in vices like drug abuse, still you cannot do anything about it. You have boxed yourself into a corner where you find now guiding these children to be young, responsible adults becomes a problem. And some of these children then drift away from the right path, get enticed by bad people out there, and start using alcohol, drugs, abusing them, and they end up in rehabilitation. They come to Fountain of Hope. And as we do our assessments and we evaluate what is happening, we find out, oh, the problem of this child started at parenting. This is a child who has been over-pampered. This is a child who's entitled. This is a child who has been exposed into adult themes too early. They have formed an opinion, for example, a negative opinion about their father, and this opinion has been planted in them by their mother. And so now, as they grew up, that guidance their father could give, that role modeling, that father figure I talked about when I talked about father sleeping on the job, it is not possible even when this father is there, because the child has been poisoned against their father by their mother. And when this poisoning was happening, the mother did not envisage that it can turn out to affect the child. They thought, for example, that they were getting even with the child's father, with their husband, who maybe has wronged them or abandoned them. But in the process now, you have lost two people. You have lost your husband, and now you are losing your child. And in the end, you find you have broken up your family because some of the things amounted to shooting yourself in the foot. So today, I'm with the mothers. Ninawamulika, the way we say it in Kenya. Please do not do things that could be detrimental to the growth and stability of your child because you are overloving or because you are exposing them to situations that they are not appropriately suited for because they are underage, or because you are trying to get even with another member of your family, but in the process, the child becomes collateral damage with disastrous results for you. There we go again. See you next time in another video of Dr. BMS.